you're not allowed in here anymore. Hey, I don't want any trouble, okay? After what happened last week, okay? You gotta get out of here. I don't want any trouble. Not my decision, okay? I just work here.
Attorney for D.C., Jeanine Pirro reacts to a viral confrontation with law enforcement in Northwest D.C. You might have seen this already on your feed.
No, I have
Officials
not.
say a man aggressively approached a federal officer, yelling, cursing, and berating him before throwing a sandwich and hitting that officer in the chest. And you can see he booked it, ran away from there. The man was arrested at the scene.
And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big.
So there, stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else.
Whoa, hey, clean it up, lady. My kid watches this. My kid watches this live feed from your office. Hey, clean up that toilet. Okay, yeah, man, if anybody's a fan of the show, which you better be, man. You know, I'm a big Judge Jeanine, what is her name? Pirro. Judge Jeanine Pirro fan, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan because she did a show on Fox Nation News. She did a show on Fox called Castles. I believe I might be the only one who's ever watched this show.
The rumor.
I mean, look at this show.
This was Mrs. Khan's sitting room.
It's a very sunny.
There's no way to deliver that in like a cool way. Stick that sandwich somewhere else. Where? What do you mean? You mean literally shove it up his ass? Even if you hired the greatest actor in the world to try to make that sound cool, it would still fall flat. Why don't you go and stick that somewhere? Because it's just inherently dumb. It's just a dumb thing to say. Oh, you assaulted an officer allegedly with a sandwich and now it's been brought down to a lesser charge? Why don't you stick that sandwich somewhere else? There's nothing. That's nothing. You're just blowing smoke. Yelling at clouds. It accomplishes nothing. It just... what? Moral grandstanding? It achieves nothing. I guess that's what you do as a reactionary.
Happy room.
Oh, wow.
Her favorite thing about this room and her favorite thing about this house, when the architects were originally designing the house, they had put the Khan's bedroom above the main living room or ballroom, so it would have the most expansive view. But Mrs. Khan said, no, I want to overlook the sunken garden. And so both their bedroom and...
By the way, I just found out that there's 4 seasons of this. I'm not sure what... Not sure what a season means. Some of these I think only have like 2 episodes. I think they caught on to what Judge Jeanine was doing, you know? Hey, wait a second, Judge Jeanine. Nobody's watching this. We're flying you around to all these castles. Nobody's watching this thing. You're the only one watching this. And some weird guy. There's one guy watching this. Also, these minibar bills that you're running up. You're bankrupting Fox News with this. But it's a fascinating show. I don't know why they still aren't flying Judge Jeanine around to these castles. I think you got the vibe when you heard that story. You know, that castle guy, that Castleman? That Castleman is showing Judge Jeanine around. He's like, I got an interesting story here. You're not gonna believe this. Hold on to your ass for this one. Whoa. So the wife of the guy, the banker who built this castle, she wanted the bedroom one place and then she decided to put it a different place.
What the f***? No way, man.
Also, Judge Jeanine, you can't be walking around drinking an entire bottle of wine just out of the bottle like that.
I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for joining us on this special episode of Castles USA in Huntington, Long Island.
Hitting that castle so hard.
What a gorgeous place to visit. And in fact, I'm going to have lunch now. See you next time.
Okay. All right.
There we go, another castle.
I'm gonna call a lift and get the hell out of here because there's no food here. See you next time on Castles. Join me next time on... Okay, one last thing here, man. I understand what I'm about to say doesn't make sense, but the Judge Jeanine Pirro, she's one of those people who I just picture like she was born like that. You know? Like she was just always old. Don't put in the comments that doesn't make sense. And then I typed in young Jeanine Pirro. Check this out. Look at that. This picture came up. I think that's her. Look at the young Janine there.
You're a little baby.
Wait, who's this guy with her? Okay, all right. It's Henry Kissinger. Okay, cool, man.
I'm having a hard time. Weird.
And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and...
I missed that the first time when this came out. They took a Subway sandwich about this big. It was almost like a foot, I would say like a foot long in length. Usually sandwiches aren't a foot long, but this one was roughly a foot in not diameter. It was roughly the size of a
toilet.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. Do you like old-timey comedy? Oh, you do? Check this comment. So this guy threw a Subway sandwich at the, whatever, the cop. Who are these guys? ICE guys or so? Whoever the hell they are. The cop suffered minor injuries and was taken to the Mayo Clinic. Okay, so yeah, anyway, there's this stupid thing with all these cops coming to D.C., federal agents, ICE guys, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows who these goddamn people are? But there's an update to this story, the Sandwich Man. There's an update to it, but before we get to that, I wanted to look at this local news story. Man, I love local news. Local news is the best. Check out this local news report on the Sandwich Man.
Tonight, Sean Dunn accused of attacking a federal officer with a foot-long Subway sandwich, similar to this one right here at 14th and U this past weekend.
I don't think that part's necessary.
And it's all caught on camera.
This is just like Janine showing the length of a foot-long sub. A local DC man was charged with throwing an object similar to the one I'm holding here. You're probably asking, what the hell is that thing that guy's holding, i.e. me? It's called a Subway sandwich. Thousands of these are made every day across the country by what are referred to as sandwich artists. Those sandwich artists go like this, and then they go like this.
Praise God. Customs and Border Protection officer's face, and then appearing to hit the officer in the chest with a foot-long Subway sandwich.
Then hitting the Border Patrol agent with a foot-long Italian BMT. This all-time Italian classic is filled with salami, spicy pepperoni, and Black Forest ham. Get it made the way you say with your favorite veggies or freshly baked bread. This broadcast is brought to you by Subway. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty weird. You know, it's creepy to have, you know, for no apparent reason, bunch of militarized police roaming around the city. You know, obviously people are gonna throw sandwiches at them. They're gonna get hit with some of these and several of these and one of these.
Look at my penis.
But there's an update to this story. They're like, this guy's in big trouble. He attacked a prestigious federal officer
who everyone loves.
I think if I was that guy's lawyer, I had to go to court to defend him, I'll be like, oh, I don't think you guys get it. He was offering that guy some sandwich. In this guy's culture, he's a white guy. And that's how they do it.
So he's probably free to go now.
Oh, look, even on this video, these wild animals in the comments. These stray cats in the comments. Look at this. Assault with a deadly weapon. Shut up, man. Let us pray for the victims of this. Shut up.
Iluma.
The charge of assault with a deadly weapon. Shut up, man. Enough with that.
All right, guys, very interesting situation unfolding here in DC with regard to the now infamous Subway dude who threw a sub. We can put this up on the screen.
Okay.
Threw a sub in protest at a I don't know if this was ICE. I'm not actually sure which federal agency this sub was thrown at. But in any case, the full force of the law was brought down on this man for him throwing that sub and running away. I believe we have some footage of just like over a dozen federal agents storming into his apartment building, even though the guy had tried to turn himself in, and they were like,
okay, real quick, I'm gonna try to do one of the jokes like those animals in the comments are doing. When they arrested this guy, they published one of those pictures, you know, like when they do a drug bust, they have like all the drugs and cash and guns lined up on a table and all the police are behind it. Like, look at that, check that out. They do that with this guy, but there's just rows of Chipotle ranch mayo olives Chopped up bell peppers. Okay, whatever. You get what I'm trying to do there.
Oh. Like, no. We want this spectacle so that we can, bring in federal marshals and FBI agents to arrest you and post it to social media. Okay. Then they charged him, Ryan, with felony assault. Turns out the jury pool in DC is not having it. We can put this up on the screen now from the New York Times. According to them, prosecutors failed to obtain an indictment against the man who threw a sandwich at a federal agent. And if we put the next piece up on the screen, and I'll get your reaction.
Whoa, Crystal, please. Whoa, what am I, a chopped bell pepper here? What was I just gonna, God damn it. Oh, right. But Janine Castle said that guy was gonna get, what did she say? He's gonna get the electric chair or something? I believe she said, this is an interesting thing from Ryan Grimm here, who many say is handsome. Glenn Greenwald thinks he's handsome. Okay, Glenn Greenwald has a crush on him. Okay, anyway.
I love you.
Okay, anyway, this is an interesting point here. I didn't really consider this. These federal, the National Guard or ICE or whatever the hell's roaming the streets of Washington, D.C. It causing a lot of problems. Listen to this.
Does not want the National Guard and all the rest of these people here. It's actually creating a bit of an economic crisis in the city because restaurant attendance has absolutely plummeted. Right. And if these restaurants start going out of business, then you're going to have empty storefronts. You're going to have, staff that are now unemployed. The empty storefronts are a blight on the block. You have the owners and managers who are out of jobs. It just creates a downward cycle in the city that nobody wants to see. The longer this goes on, the more they are ruining the city. They're hurting tourism. People don't want to come here because...
Okay, so the sandwich guy, good for him. What the hell does this say? DC grand jury refuses to indict folk hero who tossed a sandwich at a Customs and Border Patrol officer. What's the guy's name? Sean Charles Dunn. Okay, kind of a boring name, but no, just fine. Earlier this month, this guy...
It's weird. It's weird.
Used a supposed crime spree in Washington, D.C., despite record low rates of violent crime, as a pretext to flood the city with federal officers and National Guard troops. People in D.C. and throughout the country have celebrated Dunn's sandwich toss as an act of protest against this guy.
It's weird.
Agenda and authoritarian takeover of the city. Artwork commemorating the toss adorns buildings throughout D.C., where they depict one of these and three of these.
Her tongue clearly touching a donut.
Okay, so that's kind of interesting, The guy throws a sandwich. Janine Castle, she's like, we're going to throw you into the work camp. We're going to throw you in the toilets. We're going to lock you up in the toilets and throw away the... then the jury looks at this and they're like, fine. We kind of agree with that guy, actually, so you have a good one, man. So that's kind of funny. Congratulations to the sandwich boy. It did seem like that guy was doing he had a few cocktails, let's just say. It seemed like that guy was enjoying his night, let's just say. And many are saying he directed that anger in a maybe more productive way than just, trying to climb a fence for no reason or whatever the hell people do when they're doing a little bit of this.
Davidson. Grand jury decided a man will not be charged with assault by sandwich. Sean Dunn,
In other news, they took away our desk because we were bad boys. This is the Hill Rising. They're not really getting... Hey, no offense, I'm one to talk, but they're not getting the views they used to. Ever since they gave Brianna Joy Gray one of these. Boom. Views haven't been as good. No problem.
Yeah. So usually you get the grand jury to indict. The joke is a grand jury would indict a ham sandwich.
Applicable in this case.
Particularly,
calm down, man. Don't start with those jokes.
One.
Yes.
Not that
they already got those in the comments.
But, they could. I think this speaks to the fact that they overcharged this guy in the first place.
Okay.
I could see honestly, I wasn't even, it's a sandwich. I certainly could see a misdemeanor charge.
Okay, this is another big view getter right here. This lady's views are like... Boom, 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 boom. Her views are like... Let's check this Megyn Kelly. Let's check her out. I don't know how she gets these views. Okay, here we go.
There was an attack with a Subway sandwich last night in D.C. There was an attack with a Subway sandwich last night in D.C.
No, there was not.
And it was a white guy, we're now told, who worked at the Department of Justice until this morning when he was fired by Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi. She's told us that piece of it. But we saw this tape go viral on X with this guy behaving like a complete ass in the face of the federal law enforcement officers who are standing there minding their own business, just keeping an eye on things to make sure things are safe. For the listening audience, we're going to play it. You see the man jumping up like...
verbally elbowing me out of this conversation. Hey, it's a very interesting telling of very non-biased telling of that. So they're just minding their own business, doing the right thing. This guy, for no reason, threw a sandwich. Those good guys that everybody in Washington, D.C. likes and wants to be there were just doing their best. And this guy was doing his worst.
At one of the officers, the man is wearing a pink polo shirt. And tight little gray shorts. He whips it at...
Okay, whoa, easy, Megan. Megyn Kelly's like, he was wearing a nice little pink shirt with tight little pants that accentuate the, the good stuff. Cut out what I'm saying, actually. Note to the editor here from Megan, cut that out, what I was just saying. He was wearing those tight little pants I like.
Then we hear from Jeanine Pirro, who's, honestly, there's a new sheriff in town down there. Do not F with Judge Jeanine. Here's Jeanine weighing in on this.
All right. Apparently you can kind of mess with she's 100 years old. She just got back from a castle, and she said they were going to throw this guy in the castle dungeon, and that did not happen. So this did not break the way old Megan wanted it to. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, whoa, whoa, let me look at this. Hold on, let me get a little peek at this. How does my girl Meg get these views? 320,000 views. Okay. She's got an interesting take here. She's got another interesting take here on the sandwich hero. The hero. Shut up. Hey, shut up. Don't put in the comments anything about that. Check this out. Here's an interesting angle.
Here's what Pam Bondi wrote.
Never heard of her.
If you touch any law enforcement officer, we will come after you. I just learned that this defendant...
Whoa. Well, he didn't touch the sandwich. Okay, go ahead.
Worked at the DOJ. No longer. Not only is he fired, he's been charged with a felony. This is an example of the deep state we have been up against for 7 months as we worked...
That is the deep state, man. That's how the deep state works. From the beginning, man. The Dulles brothers, they were throwing sandwiches at the police all the time, bro. The guy who threw a Subway sandwich is the deep state. That's definitely probably one of the funnier things Megyn Kelly has said, probably.
You will not work in this administration while disrespecting our government and law enforcement. I think she's really onto something there. Absolutely, this is an example of the deep state we've been up against for 7 months as we work to refocus DOJ. I know this is happening at FBI, at the Pentagon, and elsewhere in the government. They really are working against some of the leaders. I think it's happening at FDA.
Oh, man, she's quite the character, Megan, there, You could make a conspiracy out of this, a deep state conspiracy where it's like that guy was a plant, Like, oh, did you go throw the sandwich? Things have gotten so stupid that this would be our version of, like, the fake moon landing, whatever. A guy throwing a Subway sandwich. It would be like, oh, that guy was a plant. Throw the Subway sandwich, you gotta send more police in there. You could do something like that. But that one doesn't really make any sense because, like, everybody likes the Subway guy. I saw a news report where they're, like, putting posters up of him. The grand jury was like, let that guy go. So that didn't really work out if it was a plant. But that is funny. All these people, like Megyn Kelly type, goofball content. 320K views, though. This kind of goofball content, whenever they talk about the deep state, it's like something like this, The deep state is people who are against the police taking over a city. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting definition. So, like, the opposite. Yeah, the opposite. Well, anyway, guys, it's Friday, so let's have some fun and do a thing that usually makes the view time absolutely plummet. People hate this. That's right. Person of the day. People of the day. There's multiple.
Okay, well, you know about the Swift news. Guess what? The internet is also buzzing right now over this video, and it's from Will Smith that he posted on YouTube from his comeback tour in Europe. A lot of folks online are accusing the musician and the actor of posting a video using AI to change the appearance of his crowds, mixed in with shots of real people, and of course,
with comments accusing the artist of using fake AI crowds. You can see what they're talking about when you look up close. Faces in the sea of fans appearing distorted and not quite right.
Okay, this is person of the day number one, Will Schmidt. This is funny because if you like go on Reddit and you look at the screenshots that people took of this AI crowd that for some reason Will Smith's people uploaded, the zoomed in faces of people, AI people in the crowd it's probably some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. They just zoom in on a face. It's like, note to self, make this look like how those faces look. It's like, also, who the hell is going to see Will Smith do music in person? He does play to giant crowds. Who are they? Who's going to see that? Will Smith, author of one of the greatest rap bars, I call them bars, of all time. I just bite it for the look. I don't light it. I wonder if he does crowd work on that. I bite it for the look. Then he puts the mic over to them. Everybody's like, I don't light it. We don't light it. Okay, that's Will Smith. He's terrible. Congratulations to person of the day, Will Schmidt.